If you're wondering how to lay out your homestead, today I'm going to give you some ideas. Let's go. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. I want to talk about the layout of a homestead. It is so vitally important to the success of your homestead to get a good layout. Let me show you what works for me, and I'm sure it would work for a lot of people. I have put a lot of thought into this, and this is what I've come up with. From inside your house, you want to be able to see zone 1, and I'm going to explain the zones in a second. Also, in the middle we have the water that can reach every section. It's very, very convenient, and that's what we're going for. We want natural, we want healthy, but we also need convenience because we're all busy. Okay, now I'm going to explain the zones. Okay, here's a picture I drew of zone 1. I'm trying to give you an idea of what the zones are that I'm talking about. And I think it's the best way to lay out a homestead because you can think about it in your head and then you can transfer that to paper and then you can build it on your homestead. And that's what I recommend you do. That's what I did. First in my head, then on paper, then I did it out in my homestead. Okay, here's your front door. Of course, I made it big, but whatever. From your front door, you can see zone 1. Zone 1 is right out your front door, a few steps away. So in my case, I have my gardens, my hog pen. I love the courtyard down the middle. I recommend a courtyard. They're fabulous for a lot of things. They're very useful. I forgot to draw my little fire pit. It's very nice for entertaining. It's just a great place. So I recommend a courtyard. Across the courtyard, I have my barn. And then on this side, I have gardens as well. I like the idea of a courtyard and gardens on both sides. That's very convenient. And it just gives you more usable space to grow food. Okay, here's zone 1. I shrunk it down so you could see, what zone 2 and 3 could possibly be. Okay, here's zone 1 again, the little lines. Here's the front door, the barn. You can see the gardens again. Zone 2 is, in my house, the pastures. You can have horse pastures. I don't know if you want cows or whatever you keep as bigger livestock you would have in zone 2. Over here we have the chicken pen, goats if you want. Neil lives in the goat pen, so we don't have goats at this time. But you could have that. In zone 2 also you can leave some of it natural. I do have some forest on this side of my house. So that's zone 2, right there. It's not very far away either. Zone 3 are things you're not going to have to visit too often. You're going to have to take care of it. You probably don't need to fence it. It's just out there if you have a lot of property. And things that you would grow in zone 3 are something like a hay field. You could have orchards out there. You could have fruit trees, nut trees, stuff that you don't need to go out and tend to every day. So zone 1 is immediate, daily care, things you're going to get to quickly every day. Zone 2 are going to be your bigger animals that you're still going to see them from your house, but they're not going to be right on top of you. And then zone 3 is going to be the stuff that is way out that you don't need to see every day. I want to talk about the location of my Becky barn within the homestead, because not only is the actual building kind of custom designed, but where I put it, I also had a lot of thought into that. I wanted it across from the cabin because I want a courtyard between the cabin and the barn, which I'm going to, utilize to the best of my ability. On this side where the old shed was, we had the old shed, as I said, we put as a down payment on that. All this is going to be gardens and a big compost pile in the back there, which will be very nice. It's on this side of the courtyard. And then of course we have the hog pen, and it's very convenient when things just go in like a big circle. And then we have the barn, obviously, the horses next. And then here I'm going to change this garden right here. This is I think, gonna be my berry garden because I wanna get some raspberry bushes. I have the blueberry bushes and I love berries. So I'm gonna check it out and see what kind of different berries there are, and I'm gonna plant in this area here. And you know, maybe a few vegetables and stuff. Then of course on the other side of the driveway over there, we have Neil, and then we have Chicken Town. I'm gonna expand the hardtop here so it goes out further, probably up to the well. And the beauty of a courtyard is you can have a lot of seating for when you have get-togethers. I personally like to entertain, so I like to have a lot of people over. And a courtyard is a really, really, really nice place to entertain and have a get-together. I have my little log bench here for seating, my old little picnic table I've had forever, and I'm gonna paint it. So give it a little spruce up, that'll make it look better. In the middle of the courtyard, I like to have the little burn pile. That way in the evening, you can light a little fire in there. You know, people will sit around. You can get a lot of seating in the courtyard. There's plenty of room. And I can put the food and seating on the porch on this side of the courtyard. And now with the barn, I can put food and seating over there in the barn too. So it's almost, you can have a get-together, rain or shine. It could work. As you can see, you don't need that much land to have a very well-running, efficient homestead. You just have to plan it out right. I mean, if you took into consideration the cabin, the barn, the pens, if you didn't count the horse pasture, this is probably a half an acre. It's not even an acre, this little area where I have a lot of stuff set up. So you do not have to have acres and acres and acres of land to homestead. You just have to design it and have a really good design, efficient design, and you can homestead on a very small piece of property. But I do want to say the most important thing you have to consider when buying property to homestead, more so than the size of the property, is the zoning. You have to really, really, really make sure it's zoned residential, agricultural, or just plain agricultural. That is the key importance, more so than the size of the property. Price of the property and what it's zoned. Those are the two main things you should look for to start your little homestead.
Sign up for Becky's Homestead newsletter. Go to beckysHomestead.com and sign up on the right. You'll get articles, news, and specials from Becky every month. Unsubscribe anytime, no spam. If you like this video, click the like button. It really does help us a lot. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, click the subscribe button.
Are you going to do some shopping on Amazon? Start by going through our link to get there. You don't pay 1 penny more, but we get a small percentage. The Amazon link is on the top right of beckysHomestead.com. Thanks so much.